This is the girl he told you not to worry about. Hi, homewrecker. Let me hold your hand when I tell you this. Dump him. A bad day plus alcohol never ends in a great night. Am I the a-hole? Absolutely not. Hey guys, I'm V and welcome to today's episode. And I want to say quick shout out. Happy Lunar New Year week, guys. So I'm Via, and this year it's pretty low key for me. I am craving mooncakes intensely. I could not find any near my area, but craving it a lot this year. So for those of you guys that are celebrating, Happy New Year to you. It's that time of year, I want to say. And it actually relates to our theme for this episode, which is good riddance. Out with the old and in with the new and wonderful, please. So, in today's stories, we're going to be exploring a bunch of crazy true Reddit stories. Let's get into our first one. Our first story is from the subreddit aita. Am I the hole for correcting my ex when he said we had a mutual breakup and making things awkward? I, 25-year-old female, and Evan, 25-year-old male, have been dating for a little over 2 years. We have plenty of mutual friends that we hang out with a lot, and I thought that everything was going great with us. We did not live together, but the topic of considering to do so was something that was started to come up during the last months of our relationship. The thing is, around 4 months ago, he got a new job and quickly became really close to one of his coworkers. He would constantly bring her up so much that I told him that we should all hang out, but he'd just say, nah, she wouldn't want to. She's kind of shy. Or she's busy this weekend. I thought, okay, fair, but did clock that it was kind of weird. So at first, it didn't bother me too much because I was glad he was getting along with his new coworkers. But then I noticed that he had started to text her a little too much. Like every time we were spending time together, his phone was just going off. I'd even caught him smiling at his phone when he was doing so, and I knew that it was her that he was texting because when I'd ask, who's that? He wouldn't even look up at me and just say her name, L. I am side eyeing the heck out of your boyfriend, OP. I am, of course, a proponent that, yeah, sure, if you want to build friendships and get close to your coworkers, why not? But it some starting to stink. It's giving a little sus. But let's see. OP says, it was one of those times that he was texting her that something just snapped to me. And I decided that it was not something I was going to tolerate. I'm sort of a jealous person, I'll admit that. And he knew that. I'd also like to think that I'm not an irrationally jealous person, but the way he just seemed so different and excited to talk to and about this new friend was just too much for me. So I told him straight up that his friendship with her was making me really uncomfortable and that it felt like it was more than just a regular friendship. He rolled his eyes and said that it wasn't his fault they had so much in common and that I was being insecure. Perhaps I was, but after going back and forth with him for a while, I told him that I didn't want to be with someone who made me feel that way and we broke up. Oh, the sequence of events did not happen the way I thought it would. I I applaud you, OP, for all of your flaws in terms of how you're saying you're a jealous person. I think you handled this really maturely and really well. I mean, you tried to be understanding, you tried to talk it out. Boyfriend didn't seem like he was even hearing you out, and you made the decision to break up. Okay, I'm confused on why we still have more, but let's see. Now, fast forward to a week ago. It was one of our friends' birthdays, and we all got together to celebrate. I'd seen him at these outings with our friends since the breakup, and we didn't really speak other than a hey, so it wasn't too weird for us to be in the same room. Okay, it sort of was for me. Except this time when he came, hand in hand with a girl and introduced her by the name that I knew so well, L, I laughed. I couldn't help it. I was so hurt, but at the same time felt so validated that I wasn't being crazy. He just shook his head and said something like, come on, don't do this. It's been months, and we both decide to break up mutually. Am I not allowed to move on? That really annoyed me. And I just said, no. I broke up with you because I didn't believe you when you said Elle was just a friend. And clearly, I was right. I could tell he was mad that I said that in front of everyone, and Elle looked uncomfortable. But I didn't care. The conversation quickly moved past the awkwardness, and the rest of the night was great. I did apologize to the birthday girl who I'm super close to, but she said she didn't care and instead just made me tell her everything. Lol. Okay. Oh, okay, OP. I'm really loving this. Very in theme with our good riddance on to bigger and better things because you dodged a bullet. You called it. You had that weird feeling. You had your intuition tell you, hmm, this L here isn't just a simple coworker. I mean, be for real. The only people you're allowed to look at your phone and text all the time and giggle like that, like a little schoolboy, is to your very, very close family members when they're telling you good news or to your significant other. But to a random coworker you just met, come on, come on. That behavior is so sus. And I love that this is a classic case of this is the girl he told you not to worry about. I see this trope all the time. There's so many videos about it where you just know, you call it. You feel that the vibe is off, you call it. But of course, your partner is always going to say, you're overthinking it. You're insecure. You're jealous. And honestly, I feel for my jealous girlies out there. I'm also a jealous girly. I don't like sharing. I mean, healthy boundaries, yes. Like in a healthy way, yes. We all, me and M, Mr. Deep Voice behind a camera, my fiance here, we have friend hangouts and we have friends of the opposite sex as well. But we're not out here sitting here like being so controlling. I think there's a difference, right? You can be jealous. A little jealousy, I think, is healthy. Maybe that's a hot take. But I hate that this is now being used against OP. Like, oh, you're just jealous, you're so insecure. And guess what? She was right. I hate it when they try to flip it around. You know what? The audacity, too. I get that. Okay, they have similar circles, they're at the same event. But the audacity to make it almost seem like OP's the one that's being immature. Like, oh, come on. We mutually broke up. Let's be grown-ups. I mean, the audacity, excuse me? So, I mean, he knew what he was doing. First off, to make it seem like OP is the one that's being childish or not moving on. And then to have the audacity to bring your coworker as your new girlfriend, knowing that's the reason why you broke up to a mutual event and to change the story and flip the script. Come on. I'm glad OP clocked it. I'm really glad she said something because otherwise, what are onlookers going to think? Everyone in their circle is going to think in their heads. They might not say it, but they're certainly going to think, oh, I guess she's not over the relationship, but he seems to be. I feel like it's that unspoken dynamic. So I'm really glad OP said something. What do you think? Too petty or did she react appropriately?
Well, I can't really say. Like, she reacted, I think, the way she felt at the
Yeah.
moment. Was it too much? I don't know. I don't think so. But I would say that she is not like 100% over the relationship.
Oh no, because it definitely stung and she
Yeah.
acknowledged it. So yeah, but I feel like even if you're not over it, this is one of those fake it till you break it type of thing. Like, I don't I just want to kind of give Ovi a hug here because you don't want to show that you're clearly not over, it, especially since your ex is not flaunting his new girl, the one he told you not to worry about. Mm.
Yeah. And I guess the breakup part was kind of skimmed over,
Mhm.
how they broke up, or
Yeah, she basically just said that he wouldn't acknowledge what she was saying about the coworker, so she broke up. She initiated the breakup.
and I guess the guy accepted just like that.
Oh, that's a
Well,
good
yeah, that
point
that
that
to
you
me is
bring
kind
up.
of a bit well unclear. So
Hmm.
I would want to know more about the breakup part and how it happened.
Well, I hope OP ends up explaining it. It doesn't. There doesn't seem much here. Well, so far we haven't heard anything. But you brought up a good point. If he really just went okay, like I'm guessing, like if he didn't put much of a fight, especially when he moved on already with the new girl, I'm just kind of like, oh. See, the one question I would have if I was in OP's position is were they already getting to be a thing or were they just waiting for OP to break up with the ex before they officially got together so he could show her around all of their family and mutual events?
I think it's hard to tell, but at the same time, the from what I'm from what I've heard, it seems like they were more than just regular coworkers
Hmm.
at that point. So
Okay. Tell me how, you know what pisses me off? I know it's a little thing I keep getting hung up on, but the fact that OP noticed the behavior, But it's the repeated constant texting and sitting and looking at the phone and going, giggling, like, little, haha. It's like, oh, who are you texting? And he doesn't even look up at OP to answer. And he's just like, oh, just texting L. Okay. Like saying that like it's a normal routine. Ew. Ew. Oh, by the way, I'm also very glad that birthday girl, instead of being angry that OP brought drama to her birthday party, she instead went, okay, tell me all the details. I need all the juicy details here.
I mean, you could also argue that the ex-boyfriend brought drama.
True, true. Technically, he did. Now, OP says, I did apologize to the birthday girl who I'm super close to, but she just made me tell her everything. Lol. I thought that was that, but earlier today, Evan texted me saying that I was effed up for making things awkward for him and his new girlfriend, that some of our friends are refusing to welcome her with open arms, and that some are even referring to her as the girl Evan cheated on my name with. Now, I'm not sure that he really did cheat on me, at least not physically. But the fact that I was right and there were feelings there that were more than just friendship makes me feel validated, and I refuse to correct our friends or to try to smooth things over. So, am I the a hole? Absolutely not. Oh, I love it when karma hits at just the right time in just the right place. And usually, I'm not a fan of friends in some of these stories that we hear on Reddit because the friend circle tends to be they tend to pick a side and they don't always, in my opinion, pick the morally correct or the right side. I'll just say it, the right side. But I love that whoever is defending you, OP, and on your side, they're your real friends. I like that they are now giving him a hard time and not welcoming her in simply for the fact that, oh, your new girlfriend, the one you cheated on so and so with? Okay, nice to meet you. Like, that's how I imagine the interactions going. It's like, hi, I'm Elle. Hi, homewrecker. Like, that's how I imagine it. Oh, it's like, I love the friends so much. At first, I was just speechless, I think, by what the ex is doing, by this Evan. But now I'm just like, wait, 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 wait. So you basically emotionally cheated. I think we can confirm that at least. I mean, the constant like texting, the connection they seem to have. Ew, I hate saying
Well,
that.
technically, we don't know 100%, but it would seem
Implied,
it
yes.
would be implied.
It
Yeah.
seems to be implied, all right? Understand, take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. It is implied that there was something more going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. Maybe not physical, but there's some weird going on there. But the fact that he then goes to a mutual friends event, knowing OP is going to be there, with the girl OP was concerned about in their relationship. And now he's going to call her and say, you messed up. OP messed up. Oh, how dare you call me out for being shady? And it's somehow now OP's job to smooth things over with the friends so that everyone else will just accept L into the fold. I'm getting such massive ick. Guys, if you take anything from my video, please. Not to rain on your taste, OP, but please let this be a lesson. Can we date better people? Honestly, people who genuinely like us and don't show it 10% of the time or just the beginning stages, but show us that they adore us 200% of the time. Come on, please. This annoys me. How dare he? I just imagine he's calling up and saying, look, let's be adults here. I'm going to need you to tell everyone that it wasn't like that. And she should be welcomed into our friend group. How awkward. Just genuinely awkward. Ugh. You know what I hope? I hope all the friends band together and decide to just cut him out of the group. And they just slowly distance themselves from him. But I mean, very obvious. Not the whole for me. What about you?
Mostly not the whole.
Mostly? What's the remaining 10% or whatever it is that's holding
It's
you
a
back?
very small amount, but it's just because I don't know if there was whether there was anything actually between them or not.
Oh, come on. He refused to
It's
change his behavior around this coworker. There was something. There was something.
Hey, if I had to place a bet, I would say there probably was.
Hmm.
Let's say there wasn't anything between them at that time. They
And
were
then,
just coworkers. I guess they were just getting along.
mhm.
Very unlikely, but let's just would would that in any way change your answer?
No.
Okay, let's say they got together after the breakup and All right, I'll just drop it. It's a very, it's
My
a
face.
very,
I'm
very
just giving you a
unlikely.
look. Well, okay, here's the thing. Theoretically, at that point, if there's nothing that actually went on between Evan and Elle, between boyfriend and his new boo, and they were really just good coworkers, and just coincidentally, after they broke up, after OP breaks up, that he gets closer with the coworker, it would be petty. Absolutely, would be petty to say something like that for OP's part. But I think she would still be justified. And I don't think that feelings just blossom out of nowhere. I feel like some people describe falling in love or dating or liking someone as sudden, right? And I think there are definitely those relationships. But I think most tend to be almost like you have initial feelings and then you mentally decide whether or not you want to progress them or you act on them or they fizzle out. And I think in this case, boyfriend might or ex-boyfriend might have fanned the flames a little bit. Like I think his behavior definitely wasn't helping. And it doesn't excuse the fact that he just ignored all of her concerns. So yeah, I'm still on OP's side. Oh, I do want to bring up something. I was reading your comments, right, from last episode. You guys make me laugh. You guys are hilarious, by the way, because most of you guys said secure the bag, which I did not expect that we would be on the same page with. One of you guys commented that you really like M and my relationship dynamic, I guess. But you guys said that he was calm and that I was bright and a little impulsive. I was like, wait a second. So he gets calm and I get bright but impulsive, which I guess, okay. Well, when I think about it, I guess you're right, actually. But only on the right things, I think, right?
Mm, I think they got a point.
You were supposed to be like, yeah, but it's in a cute way, babe, or something like that. What do you mean they got a point? Hey, I'm scared to see what the comments are going to say. My bet is Reddit is going to say, not the a-hole. First comment from Background Soup. I like some of these usernames. Not the a-hole. I would have just texted him back like, quote, if you hadn't lied, then I wouldn't have had to say anything. Please never contact me again. I really don't care about your new girlfriend and have moved on. Then just block him. Out of sight, out of mind. It's up to your mutual friends how they want to handle things going forward with him and Elle. Just ignore them and don't stoop to any drama. You've told your truth and that's it. Just focus on yourself and the friends who matter and leave him in the dust. I like this one. I think it's very sound advice. Very good too. Obi, you put your truth out there. Now it's time for you to step back. Like remove yourself from the situation. You move on with your life and all is well. You don't need to entangle yourself with any more of Evan and his nonsense. Another comment. Nothing. He tried to make you look petty and immature by lying and saying it was a mutual breakup. All you did was set the record straight after he lied. However, your friends are treating him and his new chick are the consequences of his own actions. Oh, yes. Yes. I agree. This is what I was saying. You know what's weird to me? That when people break up, that it matters who breaks up with who, or whether or not it was mutual or just one party wanted to do the breaking up part. Like I've seen this trope in so many sitcom shows where it's like, if you're the breaker upper, I guess, it's almost like you're seen in a better light. Whereas if you're the dumpy, I guess, the person who got dumped, it like these shows always paint you out to be, oh, the more pathetic, the more sad like aspect of it. So I think that Evan was definitely trying to do that with what he was saying when he was emphasizing, we mutually broke up. Just grow up and move on. Like it seemed very weird. So I'm glad the comments also clock that. I'm taking a look and most comments are saying, actually all of them are saying that I can see, not the whole. And I agree. I feel like we're starting off with a positive note. A little petty, perhaps, but in my opinion, justified. If you guys don't agree with me, let me know. What do you think OP should do from this point forward? And do you think she did the right thing at the friend's birthday party? And if you guys are enjoying the story so far, don't forget to like this video and hit subscribe, guys. Although, if you are listening to me on Spotify, don't forget to rate this one 5 stars. Now, our next story is our wild pick. And wild pick is just that, a story that's a little bit kooky, a little bit out there, but I figured it would be a fun topic to discuss with you guys. This one is from the subreddit AITH. Am I the hole for breaking up with my girlfriend for getting drunk and telling our friends about my fetish? I hope YouTube does not demonetize me for this one. But we will see. We will see. Using a throwaway for obvious reasons. Me, 29-year-old male, and my girlfriend, 35-year-old female, have been together for about 8 months. We have certainly had our ups and downs, but for the most part, it was a good relationship. Most of the downs being when she has struggles with her mental health. She was in contention for a major promotion at work. She was very worked up about it until she told me someone slipped her that she was going to get it. She was so excited. I've never seen her so happy. It was great. We agreed to meet our friends at our favorite bar after work, the day she was expecting to be officially offered her promotion. When I met her outside the bar, I could instantly tell something was wrong. She said she didn't get the promotion, someone else did, a woman that she despises. It was really disappointing. I offered her for us to just go home, but she insisted that we hang out with our friends. She wanted to get drunk. Oh, I kind of feel bad for girlfriend here. But at the same time, one bone I have to pick is I I am very much a proponent of do not count your dang chickens until they're hatched. For all you know, you could be getting a bad rotten egg. Girl, I think she was I don't want to say reading too much into it because someone at work told her. I just feel like until you know 100% certain, like your manager pulls you aside and goes, "You definitely 100% got the promotion. You are now promoted." I would not going around telling anyone, to be honest, because I don't want to get my hopes up and then also get everyone else's hopes up. And then it would just be awkward if it didn't pan out. The fact that she scheduled go hang out at the bar on the day that she thought she would get her promotion, girl, too soon, way too soon. I don't know. Like I get that she was so super excited, but it was just a bad move because now you're coupled with a disappointment of not getting it. And I guess her arch nemesis at work got it, which is even worse. And now she has to tell people that she invited to the hangout, hey, actually, I know we were here to celebrate my promotion that didn't happen. So awkward. So awkward. I feel bad, but let's see. OP says, she wanted to get drunk, and she did. She was barely even talking at first, just drinking. It was obvious to her friends something was wrong. Me and her started arguing at some point. It started over the wings me and her got. She was complaining she didn't like them and how I didn't care what she wanted and didn't listen to her and all that. Eventually, it struck a nerve, and I told her she was drunk, acting like and she needed to go home. She got so pissed, she told all 5 of our friends about my fetish. I don't want to say exactly what she said, but I have a fart fetish. And she mocked me about it in front of everyone. Yeah, whatever. I like being farted on. It's embarrassing. Let me clear the air here. I had to say it. I had to say it. It was writing itself. Let me clear the air of the story first. But this is not where I thought this was going. When I hear fetish, I don't know why. The first thing I'm thinking is feet fetish, to be honest. Because that's like the common joke that people talk about, to be honest, on the internet when people talk about fetishes. I have to say, I was not aware that fart fetish was a thing. And while we are indeed here to judge, we will not judge preferences in the bedroom or otherwise in their personal privacy. I'm just saying, we learned something new today. Did you know this existed?
I'm not surprised.
What do you mean you're not surprised?
Well, anything you can kind of think of and probably can't even think of, I would say it's probably a fetish.
Oh gosh. I learn something new with every episode that we read, to be honest. I really do. And although I have to say, most days I like what I learn. However, this has to be a first where I wish I could unlearn this. You know what? Let me not add on to OP's embarrassment here. OP says, yeah, whatever. I like being farted on. It's embarrassing. I'm only mentioning this so people can understand how embarrassed I was. But it is what it is. I'm obviously insecure about it. And now all our friends know. How am I supposed to hang out with any of them again? The next morning, I broke up with her. She cried, begged, and said she didn't remember anything from last night. It was hard, but I held my ground. Now, I don't know. Maybe I overreacted. Am I the a-hole for breaking up with her after she was having a really bad day? A night she can't even remember, apparently. My gut is saying you're not the a-hole. Because did girlfriend go from having a bad day to a really bad day to a really, really bad night? Yeah. Because you're telling me one day she hit the lottery. She didn't get the promotion she thought she was already in line for or already got the job for. Her arch nemesis at work got it instead. Okay. She had to break the news to all her friends and the boyfriend and OP. Okay. She blurted out her partner's like deepest secret in the bedroom in a public setting to all their friends. And boyfriend broke up with her. Man, that has to be in the books for one of the worst sequence of events I've seen yet. I would say usually I'm a little bit more sympathetic, to be honest. And I'd say, oh, she couldn't catch a break. But really, she should have given herself a break. She should have just given her the night off. Should have gone home, not get drunk, just gone home, had a peaceful, chill night, put in a nice movie, order her favorite takeout or something, and drank some, boba tea and called it a night. But no, girl had to get drunk. Had to get drunk. Had to get drunk. I don't understand this. If you're in a bad mood, I highly recommend for no one to get an alcoholic drink because I don't know. A bad day plus alcohol never ends in a great night. I've never heard of a story where these two things combined equal an amazing day to remember. I mean, the irony here being is that she apparently doesn't remember, which I'm a little bit like, very convenient. This is a really big thing. I want to say she probably didn't mean to spill out his secret, but in context of the situation, because they had an argument, things like that, it feels like she did it to hurt him. I think, yes, drinking can definitely affect your choices, right? But I don't think it changes your character of who you are. Does that make sense? If she didn't, in her mind, at some point, right, already feel that it's an embarrassing thing about her partner or that it's a very negative thing, why would it come out in the spur of a moment during a fight that they had on something completely unrelated? I feel like when people are extremely pissed in the height of their emotions, I actually think they do the opposite. Not that they don't say things, not that they say things they don't mean, but rather they say their true thoughts. Or at least maybe it's because I'm the same way. I feel like when I get pissed, I will just be extra blunt. And so maybe that's just me kind of projecting my own way of going about these situations. But I kind of feel like it was intentional from the girlfriend's part. What do you think? I don't think it was just oops, drunken
Yeah, yeah.
mistake.
In this scenario, I think it was intentional. She
Yeah?
did it purposely to hurt him.
That's horrible. Even if it wasn't the fart fetish, name any other secret of his that was embarrassing. It just equally hurts. I think jokes aside about the farting, replace it with any other secret and to blurt it out in a public setting in the heat of the moment in front of other people like that, I would never. In a partnership, right? If you really adore your person, you're their secret keeper in a sense. Not unless, barring extremely illegal, morally questionable activities, most of the time.
So you're saying extremely illegal.
Well,
So if it's just
oh
somewhat illegal, it's okay.
well, okay, if your partner jaywalked one time, because jaywalking's bad too. You're not supposed to do it. But
Well, of course
I don't
not.
blow up your partner for it. Oh man, that does sound bad. Extremely illegal. Okay, illegal activities, right? I feel like you keep that under lock and key. Whatever your partner is saying or doing or things between the two of you. Your partners. I'm so mortified for OP because not only is this fetish not more, I don't know, normally accepted one or just more broadcasted and publicized type of fetish, but it's also something that OP is extremely already insecure about. And she knows it and she hit him where it hurts. Oh man, I think it's justified for the breakup. Yep. Bring the B word, the breakup word. I think you're justifying the breakup. I'm glad you dumped her.
A dump. I see.
Oh my gosh. It really writes itself. Well, let's see what the comments say though. First comment, you'll find a gassy queen who respects you one day. You know what? You know what? Yes. OP, I'm hoping you find your own gassy queen who loves you and will gas you up
Yeah.
instead of bringing you down.
Needs a girl who lets it rip.
Lets it rip where it makes sense. Another comment, not the whole bad day or not, getting drunk and turning someone's personal life into open mic night is a deal breaker. Trust isn't something you can just Febreze away. You know what? That was a good one. I'll give you that. OP, I hope, because I'm assuming a lot of these OPs, once they write their stories, I'm sure they read the comments. I hope you got a chuckle out of some of these because first off, very clever. Second, I am Once again, impressed by the amount of butt, bathroom, and gas puns that are available. They're so good. Not the whole, this wasn't an unintentional slip of tongue. She was angry and hurt, so she wanted to make you hurt. She did this on purpose. Agreed. Agreed. I mean, all comments are saying clearly not the a hole. And I think you dodged a bullet. Once again, maybe I should have dubbed this episode Dodging the Bullet because, oh my goodness. Usually I get aggravated with some of the OPs because clearly this is a situation where they need to dump their partner and move on to greener pastures. But no, it's always, no, but he only meant it one time. So I'm really glad we can skip the whole spiel where I lecture OPs on why they need to protect their peace. I'm still dying over the first comment. Hopefully, you'll find a gassy queen. That's my favorite. That's the comment of the episode, guys. Now, our next story is also from the server AITH. My boyfriend refuses to buy me female products, pads, and now I'm upset. I'm upset too. I'm already upset for you, OP. But let's see. OP says, I'll make it short and sweet. Me, female 25, and my boyfriend, 28, have been dating for over 3 years. Yesterday, we had a conversation through text about him going to the supermarket to get pasta because we were having people over and I was going to cook. Mind you, he gets out of work before me and the supermarket is 3 minutes away from home. Everything was fine until I got my period right after I was about to leave my job and go home. So I texted him to please grab some pads for me, and his answer was, I'm not doing that. Then I said, I'm going home. They're on the personal hygiene aisle. I need them. His answer was, so go get them? And I replied, aren't you going to the store? And he said, yeah. So I replied, I'm telling you to please get it for me. And his answer was, I said I'm not doing that, but you keep asking. And I ended the conversation by saying, okay, thanks. Then he said that we shouldn't have people over tonight, which made me even more upset. I ended up getting them myself while having pain and a bunch of toilet paper wrapped around my panties to not make a mess. I always say, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. If he feels uncomfortable, he could have said, quote, I'm sorry, but that makes me uncomfortable, so I won't be able to do so. And I could see it with a different perspective. However, he's 28, and I think it's a very immature thing to be embarrassed about. It is. I find this the weirdest thing ever. I mean, I don't know, I was gonna say in our culture, but I guess in the US, there are so many sexual jokes made about body parts, about just being in bed, the bedroom, and all of that. But where things get awkward and embarrassing, apparently, is at women hygiene products. It's not like this is something that women can just turn on and off, you know? I'm sure most women would vote to turn this off if they were able to cease the need for female products and pads, but we don't get to choose. And I feel kind of bad because, look, I'm not saying you have to say yes to everything your partner asked of you, but in instances like this where they clearly need you, and he was already going to the grocery store anyway, so it's not like it would have been a huge detour, a huge inconvenience for him. I'm kind of judging hard because what do you mean you won't do this for your partner? Well, she's in pain clearly and she needs your help, and your response is just to be so careless about it. OP, I have to agree and disagree with you. You said it's not what you say, it's how you say it. I think it's both here. What he said was hurtful and neglectful. How he said it made it even worse. He doesn't care about you. His little embarrassment over I'm confused because I mean, it's very normal to buy pads. No one's going to look at you weirdly for doing it. And he's 28. If he was a teenage boy, maybe I can get it a little bit. Like I understand the anxiety around it. But he's 28. Imagine if you guys had kids and he had to go to a grocery store and buy pads for his children. Is he going to be too embarrassed and tell him, you go do it yourself? What are your thoughts on this so far?
I'm not even sure what to say about this. This seems a very immature thing.
He's
I'm not
28 and he's doing
yeah,
this.
not wanting to do that. I mean, I think I would have been more okay if he just not didn't want to do that for some reason.
And it said it in a better way.
Or well, yeah, but guess is his reasoning that he just doesn't want to do it, or he's embarrassed about it. I guess he's
Well,
embarrassed about it. It seems right.
we thought so, and OP seems to think so because that's her opinion. She said it seems to be a very mature thing to be embarrassed about. But all he said from the direct quotes that we get is that I'm not doing that. He just keeps saying, I'm not doing that. You go do it. I'm not doing it. So we don't know if it's embarrassment or something else. OP's guessing it's embarrassment. It upsets me. Oh, that's so mean. There was also a video that went around. Like I remember, I think a few years ago, it was trending, and it was a video where I think someone's boyfriend, basically, or a couple, right? A couple, they're sleeping in bed. They wake up, and his girlfriend, like the person who took the video's girlfriend, had her period. So then she was wearing sweatpants or something, and it bled through. And his reaction was to take the camera, phone camera, and record it and put it in the internet and be grossed out while she was sleeping. And I just remember being so grossed out by that reaction to the video and like the fact that he did that at all. And I remember the comments just completely roasting him like, why aren't you helping your girlfriend? Well, it happens sometimes, inevitably. Like sometimes it just happens. Why don't you help her? You can wake her up, help her with it instead of shaming her on the internet for something that's very normal. So I already have my pitchforks out for this one. Yeah, boyfriend's got to go. Boyfriend's got to go. Now, OP says, he's 20. I think it's a very mature thing to be embarrassed about. And before you ask, this was my second time asking him. The first time he got it for me, no problem. But we were living at his mom's house, which she used to do everything for him. So at this point, I think she was the one who got it. Please help with advice. OP, let me hold your hand when I tell you this. Dump him. Dump him like an old used pad. He needs to go to the trash. No, no, no. That's crazy. Okay. How is he going to react? If he's going to react this badly to something that's very normal, very routine, part of your life forever, this badly, can you imagine how badly he's going to react when you have to make more serious decisions between the two of you in other instances of life? Can you just picture it? Because I don't want to. Oh, goodness. So first advice, I guess try to preemptively stock up on pads because girl, it definitely happens. Go to Sam's Club or Costco or something. Get one of those big boxes. That usually tides me over for quite some time. So that helps. But practical advice aside, I'm sure you already know that already. But please dump him, please, for your sake and my sanity. Please dump him. What's your advice? She wants advice.
Yeah, I was gonna mention the first part that you know what's coming.
We sound like parents.
You gotta be prepared. And although that's not probably what you want to hear at the moment, right? But in regards
It's
to
good
the
practical advice,
in
though.
regards to the boyfriend thing, I don't know. I see it as a maturity
Yeah.
from the boyfriend part, but my bigger issue is his reaction.
It was so nasty, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. That just didn't seem like that. That to me is worse than the him not getting the pads because he's embarrassed. To me, the reaction to it is more concerning.
Yeah. The feeling I get from it is like uncaring. The fact that it wasn't even like, oh, can we go together? Like he didn't care about offering an alternative if he is embarrassed, if that's really his big hold back, I guess. There was no compromise. There was no conversation. It was more like, you do it. You deal with it. You're on your own. Like that's what it feels like. In her time of need, boyfriend basically told you where you stand, which is alone. Let's see what the comments say. We do have an edit, but let me check the comments first. First comment. Wait, you wiped? Wait, whoa. Okay, actually, I need to see the edit first because the first comment was, wait, you wiped his ass, which I must be missing something. Edit. A huge thank you to you all for the feedback. I would like to add an anecdote. 2.5 years ago, he had a horrible accident while skiing. Fractured his right leg and dislocated his left shoulder, so he couldn't move at all or shower and even pee or poop. Guess who helped him with all that? Me. I would expect him to do the same for me, but not being able to do this little thing for me might honestly be a deal breaker. Call me dramatic, I don't care. Oh no. What do you mean? I'm very sorry about his accident, obviously, but so he could not even shower by himself. He couldn't pee or poop. You helped him through all of that, through his time of need. And at the bare minimum, when you simply asked him to, on his way, where he was already going to the grocery store, pick up some lady pads, he said no? Wait, so he's not embarrassed about you wiping his butt for him, but he's embarrassed about buying pads at a store where they sell them for that exact purpose. for you. That's embarrassing. That's more embarrassing on his scale. I'm failing to comprehend the scale of priorities here. Is this can't be normal. Girl, please don't tell me you actually wiped him down. Like you actually went in the crevices and did what needed to be done. Because that's a vibe I'm getting. I hope you did not. Now knowing how the boyfriend is. I'm not saying don't do it for your partner. Yes, wipe your partner's butt if needed. Now this is going down the wrong route, but my point here is do what you need to for your partner. But I hate that you did this and you're getting zero reciprocation of care. Does this change your stance after hearing what the context of their relationship?
It doesn't really change my stance because it wasn't, I guess, in a good standing anyway. So just solidifies that. Yeah, he's not a good partner.
No, I don't even think he's a good person. At this point, I'm doubting his whole character. Now, let's go to this comment. First comment. Wait, you wiped his ass injured and he's too embarrassed to buy you pads at the grocery store? Girl, it's time to dump him. Me and you both. Me and you both. Please dump him. Opie says, yup. Oh, I'm hoping I'll check to see if there's an update on this one, but Opie agreed. So, another comment. Someone who's not adult enough to buy something as trivial as pads or tampons isn't adult enough to be in a relationship. Agreed. Now, this comment's pretty good. Comment says, what's the logic here? He'll sleep with a woman, but he's scared of a pack of pads? Bro needs to grow up. Wait, that is actually hilarious, though. So he's okay being near woman body parts, but not woman products.
I just wonder what the fear is. Is the fear that like someone's gonna see you with the pack of pads, and then were they gonna point and laugh at you or something? Like what?
He goes, beep, check out one pack of pads. Everyone
Like,
just laughs.
makes no sense. Well, I mean, people have weird fears, I guess, and phobias and things like that.
I guess.
Is it one of those, or is it just
Is
immaturity?
his greatest fear like, does he have nightmares about like giant pads like running after it? I can't. Or I have to say, I agree with the comments, and I'm glad we're pretty much in tune with the internet today, it seems. Now, I do want to end this on a more positive note, so bring a little bit oddly festive cheer here. But our last story is from the subreddit AITH. Am I the heel for giving crappy Christmas gifts and ruining my marriage? I promise you the story is not old. It was just published 2 days ago. There's a reason why it's being told now. Stay with me. Opie says, throwaway account for anonymity. I, 31-year-old female, married my soon-to-be ex-husband, male, 33 years old, in 2018. My in-laws never liked me and made it clear. Soon-to-be ex-husband insisted that they're just putting up a tough exterior and they'll grow to love me. Ah, yes. Yes. That's what you say to someone when you bring home a cat or a pet or a dog or something that your parents didn't want you to get. And you tell them, no, you'll grow to like it. I would never say this about a person that you'll just grow to like someone naturally like that. But okay. Opie says, to show how evil they are, one time I joined them for dinner and brought a cake I made because I was always raised to be a gracious guest. When I stepped into the kitchen and offered the cake to his mother as a thank you for inviting me, she took the plate over to the garbage bin, dumped it in, and handed me the plate back. When I told my husband what she did, he confronted her, and all of a sudden, the crocodile tears started, and she claimed that she grabbed the plate but didn't get a good grip. I let go too quickly, and it fell to the floor. So, of course, I had to be thrown away. My sister-in-law confirmed that that was what happened. My soon-to-be ex owned his own business, and they called me a gold digger behind his back. Of course, they insisted on a prenup, which I didn't care about because I never thought my marriage would end, and it would appease them and may allow them to finally treat me kindly. Nope. His business failed once COVID hit. We went through his savings and my own trying to keep it afloat. I refused to go into debt to keep it going, so he closed it down. In 2022, he was suffering from really bad depression because he lost his business and couldn't find new work. He suggested we move to his hometown, closer to his family, so he had a larger support network. Against my best judgment, we did. Oh, OP. You know the song With Every Step You Take? Wait, what is it? With every step you take or something like that? That's the song that's playing in my head right now. But instead of it being positive, it's like, with every move you make, I am crying for you. It's like getting closer to the viper's nest. Oh
Well,
no.
that song is kind of creepy, I would say, when you think about it.
Really? I thought it was like a romance song.
I mean, yeah,
Like
but
cutesy romance song.
the guy, he's gonna be watching you.
Oh my oh my gosh. I swear growing up is like knowing all these cutesy or I guess not cutesy, but all the iconic love songs are kind of mildly well, maybe not mildly, slightly problematic. Oh gosh, you're right. You just ruined the song for me. I mean, I'll still listen to it though sometimes because it's pretty good. Opie says he wanted to only work part time while he tried to restart his business, so I became the main breadwinner. Huh. Ironic. Ironic. And as with most wives, I became the person in charge of buying gifts. Stupid old me thought buying them thoughtful, expensive gifts would finally make them see I wanted to be accepted by them. Gifts to us were a couple's gift, but clearly for my soon to be ex only. Oh, I hate that. See, unless explicitly told, do not get couples gifts, or if your relationship with them is like that. And I say this because I have to say, one gift that I am not a big fan of personally are the gifts that are like his and her mugs. I have too many mugs. And literally 99% of our mugs are gifts. Literally. Until I put my foot down and said, "Please stop getting us mugs. We love them, we use some of them, and we just don't need any more." So I'm really not a big fan of the couple's gift unless the couple asks for it. Because Em and I do ask for joint gifts during the holidays because it's just easier for family members. For example, we did ask for Ninja Pan. I was very happy. I'm always so grateful and happy for all our gifts, of course, but quick shout out to the Ninja Pans in our household right now. They have seen their use since Christmas. I really like them. Okay. Anyways, Obi says every holiday was spent with them, monthly dinners with the whole family. Monthly dinners? Girl, your willpower. I could never. Having monthly dinners with people who hate me would give me indigestion. It hurts my soul. Obi says, after a year, I realized that if I ever tried to talk or join a conversation, everyone would go quiet. So I just stopped talking when I visited. In early December, they finalized plans for Christmas. A few days later, my soon to be ex said his family decided they didn't want me to join them for Christmas Eve dinner and Christmas lunch because I ruined the family vibe. I replied, fine, we'll do our own thing instead. My soon to be ex sheepishly looked away and said he was still gonna go. I was livid and so disappointed in him. That was the moment I knew my marriage was over. Usually, I tell people to run at the sign of the first red flag. If this were a highway, you would have missed your exit like, I don't know, 10 exits ago. What were you doing? Girl, please. Oh, you stayed for a whole year. I feel like instead of running through a field of flowers or daisies, she's running through a whole field of red flags. OP. OP says, I knew my marriage was over, so I returned the presents I had bought for his family. In their place, I got one pair of novelty business socks for father in law, a supermarket brand bottle of shampoo for mother in law, the nastiest perfume I could find at the dollar store for sister in law. The most expensive gift was a large rawhide bone for brother in law and his wife's chihuahua, too big for it to get its jaw around, rendering it useless. I saved about $600 to put on a deposit for a new apartment. My husband came home from Christmas lunch telling me I humiliated him and embarrassed him in front of his family. I asked him, why would he think I'd buy nice gifts for people who clearly don't like me and don't want me around? Served divorce papers last week. Remember how he was supposed to be a millionaire by now, so we had that prenup? Well, soon to be ex is not eligible for any of my savings. It was required to keep separate accounts or alimony. He doesn't have money for rent and auto insurance. Not my problem anymore. Some of my friends and family are on my side and are proud that I went out in a blaze of glory. Others are telling me I was being way too petty, which isn't really like me. So, am I the hole? No, but you are a genius. Oh, wow. I, I think you deserve an applause. Oh my God. My little petty soul is jumping for joy. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. I'm not even going to lie and say, oh, well, I don't think she was petty. No, she was petty in the right way. Sometimes some people deserve petty revenge, and this is one of them. Oh, I thought that she was just going to toss all the gifts or return all the gifts altogether, but she rebought them. And I mean, one can even argue that she was even more thoughtful the second time around when she got these gifts. I mean, this is just, Can we break down the gifts? So, novelty business socks for father in law. So, did she get like Walmart branded socks? You know, the corporate logo socks that you get at conventions or something? That's what I'm imagining.
I thought it would be like a print that you would just not normally wear.
Yeah. But she said business socks. So, I wonder what those would look like.
I'm assuming they're like the long socks,
Oh my gosh, you're right. Maybe they go up to like the knees or something. I've
right?
seen
But they
them.
probably. My guess is that they have a kind of
Weird
weird or
print.
strange print that you would not wear them.
I love it. Oh, I love it. So I've been to a few conventions before for work, and I have to say, most of the pairs of socks given at conventions, I've gotten like argyle print, but in rainbow. I've also gotten stripes, which is surprisingly the most normal print I've seen on these socks. So very good gift. And then supermarket brand bottle of shampoo for mother-in-law. That's diabolical. I love it so much because you just know it's like the nicest way to say, I think you're as cheap and tacky as this generic brand of shampoo. And I hope you get bad hair in the nicest way possible.
Hey,
Although,
hey.
okay, say it. Say your piece.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's what you're gonna say as well.
No, say it. Say it. Say it.
Just
Hey,
because it's a
what?
generic brand doesn't mean it's bad.
I know. As a Pantene girly, I know. I will not soil Pantene's name. But I'm just saying, I'm imagining that she just bought literally like, I was gonna say Target Circle brand, but to be honest, Target Circle brand is probably good as well. But basically, I think the sentiment of the gift, whether or not it's effective, is very, very much there in her face, which I love. I think the worst gifts are actually the last two. The nastiest perfume she could find at the dollar store. So she didn't even go to the supermarket. She went straight to Dollar Tree, Dollar General, whatever it is. Went to the dollar store, sniffed all these perfumes, and I bet OP was enjoying her time, sniffing all the perfumes and going, this smells too nice. Oh, this one stinks just the right amount. Let me get her this one. Oh, I'm just laughing because I wish OP included a picture of the dog bone. So they have a little Chihuahua dog, and she got them like the biggest rawhide bone. I love it.
See, I was slightly conflicted with this one.
Why?
I feel like it's a good joke, but at the same time, was the dog an a-hole in any way towards her?
Oh,
What if it's the
what did the
nicest
dog
dog?
do?
Well, yeah, what if it's the nicest dog and you get him the bone that the dog cannot eat? That's kind of
That's true. Maybe the dog was nasty too. Because that's so funny. OP didn't leave anybody out. No one was left out this Christmas. Even the dog wasn't spared.
I think it would have been like if the dog didn't do anything to her. I think it would have been a nice gesture to at least
Give the
get
dog a nice gift.
yeah a
Like the
nice
dog's the
gift,
only thing,
right?
only creature to get a nice gift.
Right.
Oh, I hate the husband so much. I really do. I rarely use the word hate, but the hate is here. I mean, what do you mean? Your partner is getting disrespected this severely by your family, mistreated this badly, and the entire time you're spineless. You just let it happen. And then you have the audacity to say, so, okay, they just uninvited you to Christmas, the family Christmas. Okay. And you say, okay, I'm going to celebrate. Look, we'll just celebrate. And your husband goes, actually, you're on your own, babe. You're on your own for Christmas. No, he's spineless. He's annoying. He's probably ugly too. I don't know. I'm just throwing an insult at the husband because I dislike him so much. Ugh, because he's an ugly person. Let me rephrase. He's an ugly person. So satisfying to then OP gets the money back. So she gets her 600 for her deposit. She planned ahead and then she served the papers. So I love that she didn't immediately go divorce papers now, but she took some time, figured out a plan, put it in action, saw the fallout, and then went, oh, by the way, here's divorce. I love it. Oh, and that prenup that they were so insistent that OP was the gold digger with, I guess it worked out for the better. I'm glad they got it because now OP's not tied down by it. It's very satisfying. Very satisfying. I like how she phrased it too, that some friends and families members called it a blaze of glory. Blaze of glory indeed. No, you're not being too petty. I think you were just the appropriate amount of petty. Not the whole. First comment, not the whole. He chose his family over you and still expected you to buy all the presents. This was perfectly planned and well deserved for every one of them, including him. Except maybe the dog. The dog is the question that we have. OP responds, he only worked 12 hours a week at Walmart so he could do non existent work restarting his business. Oh, the shade. I make just over 6 figures, and I can't believe I didn't realize years ago that I was the family ATM. I don't know how you were this patient with all these people. You handled them for years. You were so kind to them for years. OP, I hope you get a chance to, once you settle into your new apartment, treat yourself to something nice. Not financially breaking the bank, of course, but to something nice. Maybe take yourself out on an experience that you never got to do before and enjoy your time with friends and family and loved ones that actually do support you, unlike your ex. Another comment, not that you were treated horribly, good riddance. Oh, matches our theme. I actually didn't know about this comment, so good coincidence. What are your final thoughts for OP? Any advice? Anything you would disagree with?
Not exactly. No, nothing in particular.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised. This has been the smoothest sailing in agreement episode we've ever had. And it's leaving me feeling very hopeful. I say that as this woman's life is like crashing and burning and she's like having her own blaze of glory, but it's I think it's ending very well. Like I feel very hopeful and wholesome for all the OPs in our stories. So those were our stories for today, guys. Let me know if you enjoyed relationship ones like this topic, or if you have other subreddits to recommend me. I love seeing what you guys come up with. I mean, you guys have shared a bunch of ones I wasn't aware of. Like, I think Am I the Angel was one of them. Malicious Compliance was a very fun one. So feel free to recommend some and throw some my way. And if you guys enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like the video and hit subscribe, guys. Although if you are tuning in from Spotify, don't forget to rate this podcast 5 stars. I'll see you guys in the next one. Oh, and happy Lunar New Year, guys. Bye.